Modern day Democrats are absolutely insane. Everything about them is just backwards of what you'd think that a society would want. Um, Literally everything. I don't think there's one good redeeming thing about Democrats in today's society. Back in the day, Democrats and Republicans were practically the same. They were basically everything was pro America and borders and security and blah blah blah. You just had differing ideas at the very top. Republicans thought this, Democrats thought this, but everything else was poop connected like a Y all the way down. Now it's like you have Democrats that are just like, hey, what's the worst ideas that I can have and the most immoral lifestyles that I can live? That's what I want. And Republicans are like, we're just normal still. It's like that meme chart how, the left calls somebody who used to be mildly on the left an extreme white right wing person, and somebody who was always like conservative is now seen as like extreme right or right wing. But the reality is the right hasn't really changed at all. We're the same. We're just normal everyday people. But the left has just gone absolutely insane. I don't understand how people support this. I mean, I guess when you see the people that support it, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense you're a Democrat. But it's like, how do you get to that point? How do you get to, what does it take? Is it a level of self-hate? Is it a level of you hate your family? Was your family conservative? And you're like, I gotta rebel against that and do everything exactly opposite. I don't know. But anyways, I found this chart. I don't remember where. It was either on X or Facebook. And I just thought it was absolutely perfect. Like, this narrows it down just to, in a more succinct, concise way, illustrate the insanity of Democrats and the normalcy of Republicans. Like line number one, killing babies, a Democrat ideal with abortion, versus Republicans letting them live. For me, I'm actually pro-choice. It's like the only thing that I agree with Democrats on. However, I think it within reason. I think maybe the first trimester. After that, it's way too late. Like that fetus, zygote, embryo, whatever you want to say, is a full-on baby at that point, starting of the second trimester. But anything prior to that, fine. First month, maybe even the second month that you're pregnant. But like Democrats take it to an absolute extreme. What did Massachusetts recently do? They said like after birth even that you can still have an abortion. That's not an abortion. That is straight up a baby that has blankets on and a diaper and could have a binky in its mouth. And you're like, oh, I'm going to abort this now. Like, what? It's just like these broads in this trial that's going on now. How they're all like in support of that mother who smothered. She didn't really smother them, but just to put it in TikTok friendly terms, her three kids, and they're supporting her. And it's like, those kids aren't going to have a chance to grow up. They're not going to be able to have a chance to have memories. They're not going to have a chance to experience anything that life has to offer. They're not going to have a favorite movie. They're not going to have favorite books. They're not going to have a favorite class. They're not going to get to have a boyfriend or girlfriend, their own families. Like that mother, so much for a mom, she ended all that for them, and yet these freaks are celebrating it. But at the same time, when that's how you believe that, a pregnant woman isn't carrying a separate life, but just has a clump of cells in her, then yeah, I guess when you do something about those cells after they're born and they've existed, your mindset's a little warped, and you think, man, it's just bigger cells, no big deal. Anyways, Democrats defund the police, where Republicans are in support of police. That should go without saying. That's another thing that's absolutely insane, that the left was like all about defunding the police. Obviously, we need the police to keep law and order. If somebody's at your house threatening you with a gun or knife, you need to be able to have the cops to call and they come handle that person for you. Or if a place is getting robbed, they need to be able to have someone they can call to come apprehend that criminal and protect their business. Defunding them is just dumb. I think the dumb left, I mean, yeah, the leftist idea, though, is, oh, if we defund the police are the aggravators. That's why there's crime. So if you get rid of the police, everyone will just be living hunky-dory. Like, how dumb is that, though? Obviously, these aggravators now are just going to be able to be more aggravating if there's no police to keep them in line. Now they have nothing to keep them in check. So, what a stupid idea. Gun control for Democrats, yeah, they want extreme gun control, where the right says protecting gun rights. Personally, I have no stake in this. I really don't care either way. I mean, I do think that, yes, the Second Amendment gives everyone the right to have a gun. So, if you want to have a gun, you're a gun collector or whatever, that's cool. I'm not saying that I agree fully with this. There shouldn't be gun control, but at the same time, I don't really have any hardcore stakes in it. Like, I'm not a gun guy. I don't have any guns. I don't really care. I've never been to a shooting range. So it's like, all right. But to me, I feel like if you have guns, cool. I don't think there should be a hardcore regulations on them. If that's your hobby, you should be able to fully explore your hobby and get extended clips and cool scopes and all this crap if you want. Where the left, they think the exact opposite. Oh, you should only have magazines that can only hold 6 bullets and blah, 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 and we're boring and eh. Let's see. Open borders versus border control. Any well-established, well-functioning country has border control, okay? That's not even an America thing. It's just, of course, the left of America has made it a political thing that, oh, we should have open borders. Everybody is a free citizen. This is stolen land. All their dumb excuses. First off, it's not stolen land. It's conquered, which is different. Stolen land is somebody bought it, it's theirs, then you came along and you're all like, oh, I'm going to take that from you. Like if your house got broken into and someone stole from you. Well, all that stuff you had in there you bought and was yours. Some idiot came along and decided they would take it from you. You know, land that Native Americans were just living on, it was never theirs to begin with. They didn't buy it or anything. They just happened to be living there. And then, you know, other people came along and were able to overpower them. And well, now it's our land. But the other thing is, you know, the argument of crying over stolen land, it's like, well, you live here too, idiot. So what are you saying for yourself? You're going to cry that this is stolen land and, oh, everybody should be able to come here. But yeah, what about yourself? It's like you're trying to have a moral conundrum or whatever, but yeah, you're just contradicting yourself by merely existing. Like, that's how dumb this argument is. And then the illegal immigration versus legal immigrants. Obviously, we don't want illegals here. All illegals do is, from what we've seen over the past few years, is cause havoc and, you know, ruin families and commit crimes, and obviously it's not good. And then apparently they go and cheat and vote for this stupid team because this is the stupid team that allowed them in. You want to come here? Cool, but do it the right way. It's not that hard. It's not that big of an ask. It's not like the Republicans are saying no immigration and they're just extreme. No, it just says do it the right way. Get your papers, register with the government. Higher taxes versus tax breaks. Yeah, Democrats are all about taxing. What's that? Oh, tax the rich. Tax the rich. That's the people. And then the politicians, they think taxes are going to constantly go up because they don't know how to manage money. So they got to constantly keep raising it. Because even though they raised it a year ago, they blew that money stupidly, so it wasn't enough. So we have to raise it again. And then they'll blow that money and they have to get raised again. Where Republicans try to take a more reasonable approach and actually budget the money properly. What do we have? Let's use it the right way. You know, whatever funds we have, we just use properly and allocate it. Or at least that's the theory. If I was a politician, that would be my idea. As a Republican, you know, use the money right. Just like you have to do in real life. You have to budget your paycheck. I mean, yeah, I guess you can get credit cards and that puts you over that limit, but you still have to budget when that bill's due and you got to pay your credit card. So just like in real life, extend that to government. There's no reason government has to go wild and just viciously spend money they don't have. And that's what we think. We're Democrats. They don't think. They just think, oh, let's raise the ceiling. Oh, we're going to have to raise that debt ceiling, raise that debt ceiling, raise that debt ceiling. And we never learn because we just keep wildly spending and never taking any accountability for our fiscal transactions. I don't know why I can't talk. This is like the 15th screw up I've had. You know, then government, big government. You know, Democrats love the government overlords. Oh yeah, give us everything free, then I don't have to work. I don't have to worry about my insurance because it's free. Socialism. Where Republicans are smart enough to realize, no, you want small government. You want the government just staying out of your business. Basic laws, and that's it. Let me live my life. Let me do what I need to do for myself and my family. You stay out of it. Lockdowns versus open economy. Not sure what that's really saying. Does that have to go back to the last one, like with socialism and stuff? I mean, the lockdowns were from COVID. Democrats loved that. Maybe wow. Maybe that is what this is referencing. Which, if it is, then this is an older graphic that I found. We'll skip it because we're not really in the days of COVID anymore, so that doesn't matter. But still, you know, the lockdowns were pretty stupid, all things considered. Then you have socialism versus capitalism. Well, socialism has been time and time again proven to be a failed economic approach. So obviously that's stupid. You know, you only have the ability to give out free stuff because it's funded somehow. If nobody's working and everybody's getting free stuff, then where's the money to fund that free stuff? You're going to run out and then your economy collapses and now everybody's living in extreme poverty. Capitalism allows for, you know, free markets and people to start businesses and create jobs for others. And then, you know, more money in the economy. Now one of these people branch off and start their own business. Now even more money. And yeah, obviously it's the best system. But, you know, Democrats are too dumb to realize that. And then political correctness versus constitutional freedom. Democrats love misinformation and disinformation and censorship, where Republicans are like, we got the First Amendment. It's just words. Let's talk.